Welcome back, Naughty Knitters. If you're new here, I'm Tanya, also known as A Naughty Knitter 2 on both Instagram and Ravelry. And you have found episode 36 of the French Knot. This is my little corner of the internet where we love to talk about all the nitty, yarny, fibery topics. If that sounds just like your cup of tea, grab a cozy beverage, grab your favorite knitting project, cuddle up with your fur friends, and let's dive in. All right, guys, we have quite the show today. I have finished objects. I have whips. I have some spinning. I have some acquisitions. We have all the things. So I cannot wait to get started. But before we do, little business. Number one, don't forget to sign up for the Discord group. It's easy. It's free. It's fun. Get down in the description box below. Click on the link. It'll take you there. If the link happens to be broken, which that happens all the time, don't feel bad. It's not you. It's the stupid link. Just message me. I'll get you right in. No worries. All right. And number two, don't forget about the Spring Solstice KAL for 2026, guys. Runs from March 21st to June 20th. To enter, all you need to do is post a picture of your finished object on Discord. Simple as that. That's all you have to do. And you'll be entered into a drawing to win a $50 gift card to River Rat Yarn. Yep, that's right. $50 gift card. So get on it. It can be an accessory. It can be a tee. It can be a tank. It can be anything. Socks. Anything. So no excuses. Get your entries in. All right. So what are we going to talk about first? Let's start with finished objects. So I just have to start with what I'm wearing. The Gingham, the great Gingham Raglan by Jessie Made Designs. Oh my God, you guys, I finally finished her. And I love her so much. So, as I said, this is a great Gingham Raglan by Jessie Made. She is knit up in a size 2. Knit up on a US 6 for the body. And I used, the yarn I used was Ritual Dyes Sprite, which is a sport weight in the colorway Jewel Weed. That's that kind of orangey red. And then the spin cycle that I used is a Verba Volant dyed in the wool. And look how beautiful. Look how beautiful that colorway is. I'll pop some pictures up, but oh my gosh, it turned out so good. Here, let me bring that back over there. There we go. I'll bend down a little bit so you can see it. Isn't that fun? Oh. So I did zero color management on this. I just kind of let it go, and I love how it turned out. So you start at the bottom. This is work bottom up. And so you start at the cuff, actually. Working bottom up, you start with the cuff. You have a twisted rib cuff, and then you do about, I think it's about an inch and a half. And then you do a few rapid increases, and then you start right into the color work. I've been wearing this a lot already, so hope it's not too dirty. And I've got hair all over me. I'm shedding. Okay. So you start right into the color work, and you can see that gingham pattern. Isn't that fun? The whole thing is color work, but it went so fast because you're constantly changing up what you're doing, constantly thinking about what's next. So you knit it up to here, that cuff, and then you cast on this cuff, work it up to here, and then you put those on hold. And I just put them on barber cord. And then you do the same with the body. You start at the bottom and knit up to the desired length. They recommended, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So they recommended like 4 repeats, which is 8 squares up. And I did 2 extra. So I did, I think, 10 instead of 8. And I was nervous. I mean, it's hard to know because I do not like my things too long, but I also don't like them too short. So it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think it turned out perfect. And then once you get to the desired length, you put the sleeves back on, you work them back onto the needle. And then you leave a few of them unworked. I think it was 8 stitches you left unworked. I believe that you will join with Kitchener stitch at the end. Anyway, now the tricky part to it was, I don't know if you can see, but when you're knitting this up, you have a solid square and a gingham square, a solid gingham, solid gingham. And what she wanted you to do is right at this raglan seam, you want it to be having it mirror what the body is. So for instance, right here there's a solid right there. And so you want it to be solid on this side. And I'm having a hard time seeing. And we have a gingham right here. And so you want the gingham here. Do you see how that mirrors? It's a little hard to see, but that was the trickiest part. Not going to say it was hard, but you did have to pay attention because you're also decreasing as you go every other row. And so it's changing and you have to be able to predict what the next row is going to need to be, so that you had to make a few adjustments every once in a while to what the pattern was going to be. But I think it turned out great. I don't think anybody would know if I made any mistakes. I don't think I'd made any obvious huge ones. I made a few little ones here and there, but nothing like glaring. So we're just not going to talk about those. But yeah, I absolutely am completely in love with this. I don't know if I said, but I did a size 2. I don't know if I said that. And that's the Great Gingham Raglan by Jessie Made Designs. Yay! All right, next up are the Sailor Slippers by Annie Sews. My first felted project, you guys. So I did a vlog on these. If you're interested in that, I'll pop up the episode right up in the corner here. But these I did for Mr. Knot for Father's Day. And I knit them up in a European size 41. And I used Malvinas by Noro. And it's a single, I'll show you. It's a single ply yarn that is, it's very sticky. And so it made the felting just so effortless. So effortless. So I used, this is a chartreuse. And then there was a green, and then, this tangerine color. So those are the 3 colors that I used. They were all by Noro, the Malvinas. I would highly suggest a yarn like this for felting purposes. If you decide to make a pair of these slippers or something like it that you're going to felt, this felted effortlessly. It didn't overfelt. It fits him perfect. I know it was for Father's Day. I know I said that, but I wanted him to try them on because if they didn't fit, I was going to have to start back at square one. But they fit lovely. So you just start by casting on this back heel, and then you pick up stitches at the edge, and then you cast on additional stitches for the over the instep, I guess that's called, and then cast on more stitches here, and then you start knitting the front. And then there's shaping involved in that, you can kind of see. And then when you hit the top, you just keep knitting. So this is up here like this. And so you just keep knitting this long strip. And then once the shaping is done, you reach your final length, you fold it back over, and then you Kitchener these stitches to these. And then you do a mattress stitch along here and along here to join those. And then you do an applied I-cord around the opening. And then you throw it in the washer and you cross your fingers and it comes out looking perfect. So I'm very proud of myself. My first felted object. I'm going to make more. I want to make some for myself. I have already found some colors that I'm interested in. Now, in the Annie Sews pattern, she has an option for 4 colors. And I'm not sure for sure that I'm going to use 4. But I have 4. And those are the 4 I'm thinking. What do you guys think? So that's kind of what I'm thinking for my slippers. I'm not sure. There's also a pattern for juniors. So what a fun gift would that be for the girls and the boys for Christmas? I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, I have all sorts of ideas floating around in my head. So, but for now, that's what I want to cast on next for myself. Fun, right? Those were the Sailor Slippers by Annie Sews. 5 out of 5. Recommend. Okay. What is next, guys? So it's 2 finished objects. Our third finished object, I know it's been quite the week. I have like cleaned out my bag. My bag is empty. So if you remember, I was working on the Alex scarf by Peniel Larson from Knitting for Olive. And I had been heavily influenced by the ladies in my knit group at Paradise Fibers. Hi, ladies. The owner, Sarah, was making the Sophie scarf in the La Biana May merino singles. And I forget the colorway that she was using, but it was gorgeous. So I went and looked at their La Biana May merino singles, and I found this fluoro morganite colorway. How gorgeous is that? Isn't that beautiful? And it's a superwash merino, and I just love the pattern on this, the Alex scarf. So you start at the tippy tip, and then you just work increases, incorporating the rib as you go. Look how nice that turns out. Just gonna kind of, and then you reach the desired width. I actually just followed the pattern, and that was the recommended width. And then I just knit it to the length that I wanted. And then the other side you do decrease. But what's interesting on this is that the increases and decreases are on the opposite edges. So here's the top of the scarf right here. And if you'll notice, see how on this side it decreases top down, right? See that top is like, there you go. And now on this side, I'm going to keep it going like this. It's the opposite. So it's bottom up. It just kind of adds a little flair to it. I'm going to show you how this looks on because why not? That's what we're here for, right? Show and tell. This was knit up on a US 2.5. And look how lovely. Isn't that cute? I think it's just the most adorable spring scarf. I could just, you know how I really see this worn is with a crisp white blouse and white linen slacks. I think that'd be so cute. And then a pair of pink pumps, I think would just pull, or flip-flops, would just give it the absolute perfect touch. So that is the Alex scarf by Peniel Larson. Knit up in the La Biana Maze merino singles in the colorway Fluoro Morganite. All right. It's finished object number 1, 2, 3. See, it's been a busy week. All right. Now, I know you guys are probably getting sick of hearing about my cowls, but too bad, you're going to hear about them again. So the creativity cowl, this is like an ongoing project in my life. So if you remember, I taught my granddaughters, 3 of my granddaughters, how to spin a few months ago. And I let them each spin up a single. And they each spun up a braid from 2 Spring Fiber Arts in the Falkland base. Okay, so we have the Purple Pop, which is the pink and purple blend. We have the Joyful Greetings, which is the green and yellow blend. And then we have just Peachy, which is kind of a peachy orange. I'll put up the colorways up here. And then, hang on, let me get you the spun fiber. Excuse me. Okay, so they each spun up their singles, and then we plied them all together. And I'll put up the singles here. And then here's what's left of what we plied together. We got about 440 yards total. And I have been able to knit up 3 cowls so far, and here's what I have left. I don't think it's going to be enough to do one for myself. I'm kind of bummed, but we'll get into that. So what I did is I decided to make them each a cowl, and I used the design by Tori Yu called the Creativity Cowl. Now you might remember, I already had, this one was already done. This belongs to my oldest granddaughter. So that's cowl number 1. So, and then cowl number 2, it was done, but not blocked last time. And that goes to her sister. She likes, indigo. That's her favorite color, indigo. And so I did this dark, deep purple with hers. And so that's hers. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty color. And these were just yarns that I had in my stash, like deep dive stash that didn't even have labels on it anymore. So I don't even know what colors these were. Now, for the third sister, she's the youngest, but she has the biggest head. And so I went up a needle size for her and still followed the youth pattern like I did for them. So I believe I knit these up on a US 6. And for her, I went up to a US 7. And I used the leftover Ms. Babs from my Stitches sweater. So it's in the Yowza base in the colorway Sparkling Sand. And that's hers. Isn't that fun? I really love that. Sorry, my my blocking seam is definitely showing there, but you get the idea. Isn't that pretty? So that means, and I missed an end. I gotta get that sewn in. All right. So those three girls each got their cowls by Tori Yu, the Creativity Cowls. And we're gonna try them on this weekend. Hopefully have pictures for you. But I'm super excited about how these turned out. Let's see if I can space them a little bit so you can see the different colors. Isn't that fun? Let's see. There we go. How fun. How fun is that, you guys? So it's all the same spun yarn, just different bases for the background. So that is the Creativity Cowl by Tori Yu. And now the design on this, you start out at the edge. I believe it's here. And then you just, let me think. Let me think about this. Yeah. Here it is. You start here and you just slowly increase as you make your way up. And then you turn it into this kind of a trapezoid shape. And then you just seam it in the back. Right there. Let's see if I can. I think it'll show up better on this one, maybe. Can you see that seam? It's just a mattress. It's, mm. Here we go. Maybe this one will show it up best. Yep, this will show it the best on the camera. So you can see how it matches. The stripes kind of go all the way through. Isn't that a fun detail? Yeah. So that's the construction. It's a very simple construction. So if you're new to cowls, new to color work, this is an easy cowl to do. Let me see if I can put one on. I'm gonna be let's see, which one would be best to put on? Let's do this one, the newest one. I'm gonna mess up my hair for you guys. There we go. Isn't that a cute design? So even though I did this in the youth size, it's gonna fit them for the rest of their lives. I think that, oh my God, it's so cute, you guys. So I'm still gonna do more. I'm gonna do another one of these for my other granddaughter who learned how to spin, and we made yarn. I'm trying to see if I can see the yarn up here. There we go. So here's the yarn that she and I made. A little bit different vibe to it for sure. And then she wants it in a Vikings purple, or she wants the background to be a Vikings purple, but a little more pink. So I'm thinking this. What do you guys think? I think that's going to be really pretty together. Now, there's going to be quite a bit left over from this after I just make her a cowl. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking of making myself a cowl or maybe doing the creativity shawl. I don't know. Now that I see this cowl on me though, I think I might do the cowl. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Cowl, shawl, which one? I don't know. But I'm thinking these two colors because the spin cycle has, I think, 400 yards in it, and it's not going to take anywhere near that to make her cowl. So yeah, that's my thought. So that's going to be the fourth and maybe fifth creativity cowl by Tori Yu. And that is the third finished object. 1, 2, 3. Look at us go. So that's it for finished objects. Can you believe it? That was a lot. That was a lot of finished objects. I'm keeping this out because we have stuff to do with it. All of my finished objects now are housed in my Project 105 bag that I got at Paradise Fibers, you guys. If you want a 105 bag, look up Paradise Fibers. Call Sarah. Tell her I sent you. Project 105. It's the bag of my dreams. So if the 90 and the 39 had a baby, it would be the 105 because it's almost as big as the 90, but it has the pocket of the 39, making it just so good. And then when you open it up, it turns into this giant yarn bowl that is just fantastic. So I have a lot of extra. I was out checking to work today, but oh, kind of you can see. Okay, I've got so much extra stuff in it. I have tripods. I Tanya. Oh my goodness, I have lemonade. I have extra. I had some extra cords come in the mail today. They're in here. I have lipstick. I have breath mints. I have. Oh my god. Yeah, it's almost kind of embarrassing. Okay, let's get it down to just the knitting, pretty much. Oh dear. Oh dear. Reapply. Okay. So here we go. I'll try to show you. So it turns into a yarn bowl, a very large yarn bowl. And I only have 2 projects in here. So it's actually it feels so empty right now. But I'll get it filled up, I'm sure. I'm leaving town this weekend. And so, you know what happens when I leave town? We have projects to pack. But the 2 that I have on my needles right now. Let's talk about first the Stromboli. All right. So the next up is the Stromboli. Oh, excuse me. By Caitlin Hunter. This is part of her Knitily series that was inspired and named for places in Italy. Because her dream is to one day visit all the places that are listed in the series. And the Stromboli happens to be an island near Sicily and the home of an active volcano. So the yarn recommended is the M-Yak, Baby Yak Organic Cotton, which beautiful blend. And it's knit up on a US 3. I chose to knit up a size 1, which is the smallest size. And I cast on, it's a bottom up sweater. So you cast on at the bottom, obviously. And I use the tubular cast on. And then it's just 1 by 1 rib. And then you start into the pattern here. It's just repeated across over and over again. And so in the pattern, she says to do 8 repeats. Now would have only taken us up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right here. And had a split for sleeves right there. That is tiny. I mean, that is not enough shirt for this girl. And so I knit 2 extra repeats of the pattern, which is an extra 16 rows. I split for sleeves, and then I knit the body parts. You do the back first, and then when you get to the desired height, you cast off the neckline and put the shoulders on hold. Okay, and then you go to knit the front, and you knit, I think, 4 or 5 repeats. I'm not exactly sure of the pattern. And then you cast off the neck, and then you start a new chart, which is for the shoulders. And look how nice that is. Look at that finish. Isn't that, let me see if I can show it. There you go. Look how lovely that is, that neckline. Oh, she's brilliant. And then that side and then this side. They're just very beautiful, very beautifully done. And now I picked up for the sleeves. I have a hair. I'm so sorry. So you pick up for sleeves, and then you're just knitting this really horrible knot stitch that takes forever, hurts my hands. I can only do so much at a time. And it's 10 repeats of that. I've just done the 4th. So I have 6 more repeats of that, and then I have some ribbing to do, and then I'll be done with that sleeve, and then I pick up stitches for the second sleeve. Now, one thing I had to remember when I was picking up stitches for the sleeves is that because I added extra length to from here to here, I think I added one extra repeat. I went to the size 2 for picking up stitches for the sleeve, which is going to leave me with a little bit boxier sleeve, but I am okay with that. I thought maybe there'd be a way for me to decrease these stitches, but it's just not, it wasn't worth the hassle. And so we're just going to leave it. Now I blocked it last night, and look at that drape. So it's knit up in, Stacy from River Red Yarn gave me, Yakety Yak, which is a, 70% merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon, in the colorway Green Sour Apple Jolly Rancher in the fingering weight. And guys, look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. It is so gorgeous. So I cannot wait to be wearing this. I think I'll be able to finish this in North Dakota this weekend. Now, originally this was going to be a sample knit for Stacy. And I don't know what came over her, but she decided to let me wear it this summer. I feel guilty about that. I feel like I probably should have gotten it to her sooner. And that wouldn't have happened, but I'm going to wear it this summer, and then I'm going to send it to her, but I'm going to enjoy the crap out of it this summer. It is so beautiful. I'll have to say, it makes it much more pleasant to work on knowing I'm going to get to wear it because these sleeves are kind of a pain. But otherwise, very lovely pattern. And look at that yarn. Oh my God, Stacy. She does such a wonderful job, man. You guys, you got to get in on that knit along to be entered to win some of her yarn. You've got to try it. You've got to try it. Okay, enough of that. That's the Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. The next whip I have is half done. I've been cruising. Okay, let me put this on a sock blocker so that you can fully appreciate this. Okay, so this is FarmStand sock by Laura Menendez, also known as Mimosa Cafe Lenar on Instagram. And it's knit up in, I'm knitting it up rather, in the Farmer Daughter Fibers sock club from May, and it's called New Leaf. It's New Leaf. Isn't that beautiful? So this is their Bighorn sock base, which is 70%, 19.5 micron superwash merino, and a 25% nylon blend with a 3-ply construction. But look at the depth of that color. Oh my God, it is so gorgeous. And so I am proud of this sock, you guys. The pattern, it's so stinking cute. So it's the FarmStand sock by Laura Menendez, and I'm knitting it up in a size 2 on a US 1 needle. Now this is a toe-up construction with an anatomical toe. So let me first show you what we got going on here. So here is the sock number 1, and what it is, and it's not blocked yet. I just put it on the sock blockers to give you a good presentation. So you can see there's little vines with leaves. They come up here into these stems with these little buds that are going to have embroidered flowers on them. And I'm going to do cute little pink flowers on those. I'll put a picture of what it's going to look like in the end up for you to appreciate. But how cute is that? And then look at the little picot edge that we did. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, she is so cute. You're getting some scrap yarn here. Here we go. There you go. And I tried to really bind it off loosely so that I have kind of fat ankles, so I didn't want it to be constrictive. But isn't that, what do you guys think? Oh my God, the FarmStand sock by Laura Menendez. And look at that fish lip kiss heel. It looks perfect on there. Now she does a heel flap and gusset, but you know how I feel about those. I'm not a fan. So I did my own. And then the anatomical sock, I'm going to just show you the back side of it. There you go. Can you see how it's angled? So this is the right sock. Here's your big toe goes here, then your little toes over there. And so I finished the first sock already, and I'm going to cast on the second sock tonight. And my hope is to have these done before June's colorway, or before June's sock squad arrives. So I will be ahead of schedule. And what I want to do with that time is I'm thinking I have some yarn that I think would be really fun to cast on the Flappy Flamingo socks by Knit for Joy. So she's a little gal in my knitting club. She is 11 years old, guys. Her name is Isley. Hi, Isley. And I featured her pattern 2 weeks ago in my April pattern roundup for April releases for patterns. I featured her pattern and I just can't get that pattern out of my head. So I think I should knit it. I have some really pretty bright pink. It'd be perfect for the flamingos. And then I have some neon green that I think would be really fun for the main sock. I'm just kind of trying to figure it out in my head. But before I get going on it, I need to finish this one. So that's what we're trying to do. Get this one done. Okay, let's take a minute to talk about my spinning. So the first one we're going to talk about is from West Fiber Studio in the colorway Daydream. It's their Rambouillet blend, or excuse me, Rambouillet fiber. And let's see if I can show this off appropriately. I kind of made a mess out of it. I was trying to wind it up and I think I messed it up worth. Give it a few snaps. Well, yeah. It's not quite. If I'm being perfectly honest, it wasn't quite dry. And so I'm pulling it out a little bit early just to show you. But I think you'll get the idea. So it's going to puff up just a little bit more. But look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that pretty? Do you see the colors in that? Oh my God. I just love it so much. I think I'm really thinking of just knitting this up. I got about 600 yards out of 8 ounces. And so that's about a sport weight. Look at it. Look at this. So I'm thinking it would make a very beautiful jaunty shawl. What do you think? I mean, it's a little bit lighter colors than I normally. Oh God, it's so pretty. And this Rambouillet, guys, it is so bouncy. Oh my God. It's like a dream. It's so dreamy. It's so dreamy. So I really like that. From West Fiber Studio, colorway Daydream in the fiber Rambouillet. Ah, So yeah, I had to show you that, even though it's not completely dry. It's close. It's close. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you can appreciate that. Those colors. Anyway, I'm gonna bore you to tears. Okay, we'll stop. We'll stop. And then I have one more spinning project to show you. So that I'm thinking will be a jaunty. Now this one is a little bit more complicated. So this is 80% Chanticle wool and 20% mulberry silk. It's a 4-ounce spin, and I was able to get well over 400 yards. I counted it twice, and I think it's close to 600 yards. So it is. I did very well. I'm not sure how that happened. I think it's I was talking to Stacy about it, and she thinks maybe it was because of the so much mulberry silk that made it a little easier to spin thin. But look how pretty that is. Now, because it has mulberry silk in it, I could make a sock or something out of it. Let's see. I don't know if you can appreciate the pink. There's some pink in there, and there's some blue. It's really pretty, but I think this might be fun for a sock. I don't know. It'd have to be a pretty plain sock because there's going to be a lot of colors in it, but I think just a vanilla sock, maybe. I don't know. I could probably I don't know. Let me know what you guys think I should do with this. Like I said, it's about 600 yards and it's definitely fingering. It is no more than fingering for sure. It's very, very lightweight, or it's a very light ply. I mean, between a lace and a fingering, actually. So I'm thinking a sock, but if you can think of something better, let me know. There, that kind of shows up some of the colors, doesn't it, right there? Can you see all those? So let me know what you think that should become. I need some suggestions. I'm very proud of her. That's probably my thinnest spin that I've done. And relatively consistent, I will have to say. As I was plying it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty consistent. And that was from Zephyr Creek Farm. Like I said, it was their Shaniko wool blend, or the Shaniko wool mulberry silk blend in the colorway Flamingo of Kamui, of Kamui. I'm not sure. Green, pink, blue, all those colors. All right, I know you're done. You're done hearing about my spinning. You're ready to move on. So we're going to move on away from spinning. But I had to show you that. I was very proud of that spin. So now we're going to talk a little bit about acquisitions. Now, I'm not on a yarn ban, but I'm trying to be very, very intentional about my yarn buying. So I plan to attend Flock Fiber Festival this fall. Anybody else going? Anybody going to Flock? Let me know, because I want to meet you guys. I want to give you a hug. I want to see you in person. I want to knit with you. Let me know if you're going to Flock in the fall. But Andrea Mowry, her last pattern she put out is called the Flock Vest. And turns out it's her flock version of her Rhinebeck sweater. So she's putting out the Flock Vest for us to all wear, to all knit and wear to Flock Fiber Festival in August. And she's going to fly out to do a picture with us. Can you believe that? And she's basically just coming for the photo op. So I contacted Sarah at Paradise and I said, Sarah, are you doing any kits for this? And she hadn't heard about it. And I explained it to her. And she said, oh my God, yes, we're doing kits. And so she did some kits in Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock worsted. And oh my God, you guys, I am so excited for this. So excited for this flock vest. Here's the colors I chose. What do you think? Is that not everything? So I'll put a picture of the flock vest up here, but this will be the main color, and these are the stripes. I just think it's going to be perfect. I don't know. The only thing, when I go back to Paradise, I'm going there on Monday. Nah, I'm keeping it this color. I was going to say, the only thing that you might consider if you order one from Paradise, they have kits made up, and I'll tell you how to find them. But the one thing might be cute would be to put pink instead of the blue. Put a light, like I'm trying to see it. Just a very blush pink would be really pretty too, instead of this blue. But I like this. So that's what I'm doing. But if you go to their website and just in the search engine put flock, it will bring up the flock vests. Don't go through all of the looking through the kits and stuff, because it's really hard to find. Just put it in the search engine, put flock, and it'll take you to the Woolstock worsted pattern, or excuse me, kits. And guys, if you haven't felt this yarn, it's a nice yarn. It is so soft it's soft. Really, really hand soft. So anyway, kits available for flock, for the flock vest by Andrea Mowry. Hey guys, editing Tanya here. I am here to announce the winners from the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Are you ready? So I used a random comment generator, and we have 3 winners. The first one is at Sandra Ponce 5788. Second winner is Debbie Voschel 4028. Third winner is at Knitting Finn So I'm going to post those up on the screen. If one of those is you, email me and I will get you the pattern of your choice. Congratulations and thank you so much for supporting the channel. All right, back to the programming. So I think we covered it. I think we did it, you guys. It's kind of a quick one again today, huh? So a couple things. Don't forget about the knit along. The spring solstice KAL knit along 2026. Don't forget. Just get those entries on the Discord page and you are entered in to win a $50 gift card to River Rat Yarn. That's all you got to do. So guys, I had so much fun hanging out with you today. It has been an absolute blast, as always, sharing with you all my whips, all my finished objects, all my future plans and dreams. Guys, if you had as much fun as I had, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the notification bell, give me a hype so that maybe somebody else will see this video on their YouTube feed as well. But guys, in all seriousness, follow me on YouTube, on Ravelry, A Naughty Knitter 2. Don't forget to join the Discord channel, links in the description below. And if you're going to flock, let me know, send me a message. But until next time, guys, happy knitting!